All right, here we are today now, the second day of Ship Startup Festival. We got our second guest for the podcast today, Mr. Bobo, who is Boris Koste.
Koste, yes.
Koste, right. I'm going to call you Bobo for now.
Yes,
because
it's easier.
we need to maintain the artist name in that sense, right? So how are you doing today?
Very good, very good. I came by train from Kouvola, and it was my first time actually alone in the train.
First time alone in the train?
Yes.
Did you get scared?
It was very scary, yes.
Right. Interesting. Well, before we get into talking about different things as well, the most important part to mention is this, that Boris as well is a magician.
Yes.
Of sorts.
Yes.
So not just a magician with the cards, but he has other, what would be the right word? We can't put you in just one category, which is the card. Card magician, so to speak. But you do other magic as well.
But I specialize in cards, so you could say.
Let's do it that way. And of course, impressive was 2 tricks that he has done before the podcast for us, and exciting. So, how would you say that you got into the whole world of magic? What drew you? What was the reason?
Well, I think the real reason was that I got a girlfriend. Yes, and basically it is easier to demonstrate. So I have cards here with me.
Right on.
And it was actually cards that I started with, and I could do the basic, this cool shuffle in the table.
Right.
But my girlfriend could do the riffle shuffle with the bridge ending. And I couldn't do it. And as a 16-year-old boy, I felt I couldn't be second to her. You know, it sounds bad now, but that was what I was thinking.
Well, first off, 16-year-old boy who has a girlfriend who can do riffle shuffle and with the bridge. So it's like, which planet am I on? Okay, all right, cool.
But then she actually taught me how to do the bridge ending, like the cool ending.
Right.
And but of course, after there was a lot of. I think I broke one deck. I just squeezed it and threw. It was really frustrating. I couldn't learn it that easy. But finally, when I learned it, then my girlfriend could do like the spread of the cards, and she could turn them around, and I couldn't do it.
Right.
So of course, I had to learn it.
Yeah.
And then when I learned that, I came up with an idea that, okay, now I am going to be the one to learn something first.
Right.
So then I learned the fan, to do the fan. And also, in case, I learned how to do the fan with one hand and to close it with one hand. It took 2 hours before school.
There you go. But the whole idea of getting into doing this was basically to make a point that if my girlfriend can do it, I should be able to do it too.
Yes. Basically, that was the point.
So that was the driving force.
Yeah. And then it just, I at some point I started thinking that, okay, now it's kind of like skill showing, you could say. Like I can do a shuffle, I can do a fan, I can spread the cards.
Right.
But then in high school, I had maybe 1 or 2 hours before a lesson. And I was thinking that, okay, what else can I do with playing cards?
Right.
Then I came up that, okay, maybe I can do tricks. And I learned one from YouTube. And after the lesson, I gathered all my courage that I had, that I would ask that, okay, can I show a trick? And then I did the trick. And there was actually one point that didn't go exactly as the teaching video, but I improvised and it worked.
Right.
And I really enjoyed the adrenaline feeling that I got for
doing that.
And the improvisation was really great part of what drew me in, you could say.
Right. So since that age, let's say 16 was your starting point, you didn't make it into a profession, let's say this way, or do you do it professionally as well?
Well, at the moment I'm still a student, and it's basically like it's a passion. And at the moment, when I'm going to graduate this summer, and hopefully,
hopefully and surely,
hopefully,
right.
And I have the idea that I'm going to do maybe get a company, create a company, and then I can do this. I've had few magic gigs that I've done. I don't know the name in English, but some other firm has sent the asking for the money, through another company, done magic tricks.
Right. Okay. Well, that's great. So now getting to the point of making it into a profession and so on, like you are studying at the moment game design.
Yes.
Right. And we were just talking about it, that you are actually going to make a game or basically explain it, what you had in mind that you just told me beforehand.
Yeah.
That would be much easier for the viewers to know.
Yes. Well, basically, it's my thesis that I've basically already done, but I'm still gonna keep working on it. And it's called Game of Magic.
Game of Magic,
Game of Magic. And it's... and the study question is, can a card trick feel like a game? And basically in the 52 pages.
Ta-da. Yes. Nice one.
Yeah, I'm basically studying. I interview 7 magicians, and basically during those interviews, I am developing a card trick to make it feel more like a game. And in the end, or at the start, it was a game, or a game/trick, where 3 persons around the table play the role of the magician to each other. So basically, each of them have small piles of cards. Take a card, put it back, and I found it. And this is basically, I would be the game master, you could say.
Right.
And then at first, it was really strongly, you could say that it's a magic trick. But then it developed into 3 different games/performances. So one of them, of course, is a better version of the first trick, just with different handlings and performance styles, you could say.
Right.
And then one of them became really a play, where I would be one person, which would be me, with a deck of cards on stage, and I would ask one person in the audience that who would like to be the best magician in the world. And they would come on stage, I would give the deck and basically say, do a trick. And then I would say nothing and see what happens. So, and basically, I haven't done this yet, but I'm really interested in trying this.
Right.
Like, what's gonna happen?
You never know.
Yeah, this is really strongly improvisation.
Right. So how would you say, like, if you really go deep inside yourself and in the thought process, how do you apply interaction with the people? Because it's very necessary to, when you do the tricks, basically, to be aware of what the other person is observing, what the other person is feeling, where the context is, how to develop a distraction and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that this is applicable in day-to-day routines of life as well, while negotiating, while, having business meetings and so on, that you are able to influence people? Do you have that connection in life while doing these tricks as well and analyzing people in that way? Do you apply it in your daily routine as like not just daily routine, but like daily day-to-day interactions?
Yeah, like a simple example. After this, do you want to get tea or coffee? A bad example. But
neither. I just had a coffee. No, but like interesting. Yeah. Okay.
And basically, there's a lot of theory and concepts and ideas in magic that really well work. Like the idea that I actually did for you two at before the podcast was that basically pressuring into choices. Like that, okay, we don't have time, coffee or tea, which one? Quickly.
Right.
And now they're probably gonna choose tea because the human mind usually goes the easiest route. What did I heard last? Okay,
so meaning
tea.
I'm difficult, I was coffee. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well,
right.
Yeah,
but mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course there's little things and
right.
But like this, but I think what helps a lot that when I was like 11 or 12, I decided that I want to be everyone's friend. So I started to, usually only the boys would play with a ball or something, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna play something with the girls.
Right.
And then I noticed that, okay, you have to act differently with the girls. And then, okay, you have to act differently with each person. And basically now that I've been doing this for about 10 years or more to act differently with each person and try to kind of guess how you should act with each person.
Right.
So basically, how to develop social skills, you could say.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
So you do implement in a way, even subconsciously, you do, apply those things as well now in your daily routine as well. While this is something that you have not probably taken from being let's say like learning how to do magic or distracting or interacting and so on, but you just naturally developed it along the way while doing it.
Yes, and of course, like with every skill, also with magic and all the concepts and everything, if you practice something enough, it becomes second nature, or you could even say muscle memory. I even when I don't even think when I shuffle the cards because I've done it so much.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done it so much.
Right.
And also, if you've
but what would you say to a boxer? He has punched so many times in the sandbag. Would you naturally punch someone just like that as well? Because it has become a second,
Well, basically...
naturally, how you done? Boom. Like, okay.
Well, basically, in this example, they of course, they have to choose the punch. But the technique, how to punch, the move the whole body, the turn and everything. Of course, at the start of learning how to punch, they have to learn how to use each inch of their body for the punch, how to make it really good, the technique. But then it becomes second nature, so they don't have to think, okay, now I have to twist, use my hands, legs, and...
Right.
So that would be... like in this example, how it works.
So how do you implement all of this, like as this became your hobby, or let's say this is your second, wouldn't say personality, but let's say it's part of your personality now.
Yes.
So it's something that, revolves around with you and goes around with you. I think you wouldn't walk without a card deck.
Yes.
Anywhere, basically.
Yes.
Which had been my thing, which I had to let go because I don't have inner pockets in this jacket. And so I had to leave my cards back home. But in a way that it becomes your second nature, so to speak, right? So how would you implement now all of this into studying and coming to a point of doing game design?
Can you ask again so I have time to think?
Right. So how do you implement all of this that you learn by evolving around doing magic tricks, creating magic tricks? How do you implement that into now becoming a game designer?
Well, it's a really weird thing that I've actually talked with my teachers and stuff about, like me studying game design. That I like everything about game design except sitting in front of a screen. And that's basically game design.
Not necessarily if you're designing a board game.
Yes. And like everything like that is really interesting to me, the bits and pieces of it.
Right.
But really what I've noticed is that this really helps, that if you know you have social skills and you know how to act with people, you know how to get them to do, or how to try to influence them to do what you want in a positive light, of course. And this helps a lot when we are designing a game, let's say you and me, and I would have an idea and you would have an idea.
Right.
So how could I get my idea to work? Or how could I get you to say, okay, let's use my idea?
So basically it's part of mentalism.
You could say, yes.
It definitely is. But interesting. So have you gotten into the world of mentalism yet?
Well, actually, I was thinking that if you would ask me to do a trick, I would try to do a mentalism trick in my style of performing.
Right.
I could try it.
Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Let's try it. I think it works because you only see one of us at a time.
Sure. But you can hear us.
But all of the cards are different. Hopefully, I think, maybe. And you know all the cards. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Okay, I will riffle them like this and just tell me stop.
Stop.
Okay, is this a good card or do you want another one?
You can show it to the camera.
Oh, I'm not going to show it to you.
Okay.
You like it?
Let's do it another one.
Another one, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Stop.
Is this a good one?
Probably.
Okay, I will give you the cards and can you please shuffle them? Yes. Yes. So shuffle. So no one knows where your card is. Just think of your card.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, because I believe, or I could even say I know, there is no such thing as mind reading. Maybe you could argue that there is, you could say, cold reading, trying to read from facial expressions or like body language. And maybe we could try this. Maybe.
Okay.
So when you're ready, you can just
okay.
Yeah. But we
There
can
we
put
go.
it down. Let's do here. Yes, I'm not gonna touch the cards even if you see. Yes. I think I'm gonna ask you questions and just be your natural self and don't give anything away. Okay? You understand? Yes. Okay. So your card is either red or black. Okay. Or black. Or maybe, you blinked, I saw it. Okay, okay, and now when he's looking there, because he is a performer also, so when he looks there, he wants to show that I was right. So that really helps me, thank you. So now I know it's black. And now he actually says, so now I really know it's black. Okay. So then it's either clubs or hearts.
How is hearts black?
Okay, so it's not a spade. Okay, so a club. So then it can be. But now when you're actually laughing, that actually tells me I'm right.
Okay.
So, so if you're not noticing, I'm saying that something and then seeing his reaction if I'm right or wrong. So then it's a club. It's probably a small or a medium or a large card. You don't know what.
Generally, I take Happy Meals.
You take Happy Meals. Okay. So about a medium, okay. Then. So I think, okay, for suspense, I'm gonna take one card like this. I'm thinking of this one, okay.
But you didn't show the card to the camera, so they have no idea.
So they don't know what you're thinking.
Right.
So you're only thinking a card.
Yeah.
You haven't told to anyone. You shuffle the card, so we don't know where it is.
Right.
Hopefully it's this one. For the first time, what is the card you're only thinking of?
Should I say it?
Yes, I have it in my head. Hopefully.
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades.
That's what I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of. It's the one I
no.
showed you? No.
No. So should I think of that card?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, maybe then I was wrong. I have no idea.
Then it's 5 of clubs, yeah.
5 of clubs? Okay.
Right. There we go.
Yes.
Interesting. Yes. But viewer discretion required. This is not a tutorial how to become a magician, just to let you know. Right. But Boris, thank you very much for coming today and talking with us and shedding a bit of light into the magic world. And hopefully it becomes into very interesting 52-page game.
Yes.
Of board game?
It also has the third one that I didn't mention. So I have a trick, play in the stage, and a board game.
Oh, there you go. So, ta-da! I predicted it. I'm a mentalist after all. Yeah,
or maybe I influenced him.
Cheerio. Exactly. So beware. After watching this podcast, you might be influenced by Boris. Mr. Bobo. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and wishing you all the best.
Yes. But one idea was that because here in SHIP you can do a pitching competition. I really was interested in that, and I was gonna pitch a lecturing motivational magician or something of sorts, basically teaching the real secrets behind magic, which would basically look. Let's do an example, okay? So we have a Rubik's Cube, and I can do it with both hands in about a minute. And then, but with one hand. I'm not really sure how fast, but with one hand behind my back in 3, 2, 1. I can't do it. But the real magic is basically, it's not puzzle solving, you could say. It's just happens, you could say. You can't really even see it happening. It just does.